Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. I thought it was Monday. Why? Because I didn't work yesterday. I got up out of bed and I checked my phone, my work phone, because that's where all my service tickets go to. And I only had 2 tickets, and I have to have a minimum of 3 before I'm allowed to work. Because we're getting towards the end of the tax season for H&R Block, they've cut my hours down. When we were starting up the tax season and the offices were ramping up and doing what they need to do, I have my normal 40-hour-a-week work schedule. But because of the fact that we're getting towards the end of the season and things are rolling around, I don't have to set stuff up as much. I just have to troubleshoot. I've got to basically be a fireman and put out fires. So they've cut my hours down to 20 hours a week, and that's total for the week. Now that's me, and I think that's because I'm covering such a large section. I'm not just covering one neighborhood. I'm covering San Francisco, I'm covering the Bay Area, and the Peninsula I should say. I'm covering San Jose, and I'm covering the East Bay, at least parts of the East Bay. I'm sure that there are other technicians that are covering those other parts, but I just know that I run around. So because of the fact that I have all those different places that I have to cover, that's why I have more hours than some of the other technicians who have, from what I heard, as little as 6 hours a week. So anyway, and that includes driving time, not just work time, but the time it takes me to get there and the time it takes me to get back is also included in my 20-hour-a-week schedule. So yesterday, I got up and I only had like 1 or 2 tickets in my queue, so that meant that I couldn't do anything. So I spent the whole day watching Scrubs. I got my hands on the 9 seasons, I guess, of Scrubs, and I've just been like power watching them. I've been going through them. I'm up to halfway through season 3. I watched the end of season 1 and I think all of season 2 yesterday. No, that might not be right. I think I watched most of season 2 and half of season 3 yesterday. Just, one episode after another. It's cool. I don't know why I started watching Scrubs, except to say that, on YouTube, when you go to the What Should I Watch tab or whatever the hell it is, it makes suggestions and it'll give you different videos, and there was just a bunch of Scrubs clips. So I said, fuck it. I haven't, I don't have a show that I'm watching right now that I can watch like this, because there are some shows that I've done that before, like House. I think I started in like season 3 of House, so I power watched seasons 1 and 2, and then the rest of season 3, and then continue to watch the show normally from there. What other shows? Lost. I did the same thing with Lost. Me and my friend Robert started like midway through season 3 or beginning of season 4, and we just power watched season 1 and 2, and like in a weekend we just went through all the episodes of Lost. So it's because of those days when I did that regularly that I just sort of got into the habit of doing that. So if I can get my hands on several seasons of a TV show, then I'll just sit down and watch straight through them. Not really much going on, I made this. I originally made this video, and I recorded one previous to this because I thought it was Monday. I'm actually out working, so the first thing I was like, hey, it's Monday, we'll make a Monday video. But halfway through what I was saying, which was just, hey, it's Monday, how's everybody doing, I realized that it wasn't Monday. It'd have been silly for me to post that video and be like, hey, everybody, it's Monday, and you're like, what are you smoking? It's not Monday. So I'm currently in the process of going into Menlo Park here. One of the tickets my 3 tickets are not really tickets. I don't really have big troubleshooting issues. Menlo Park, I'm going there because their fax machine, when they changed the drum on the fax machine still says it needs its drum changed. So I got to go in and press 3 buttons. Or press a button 3 times. Go into options, locate the drum reset. That's what I got to do. That's what I'm going to get paid to do here. So that's what I'm about to do. Then after that, I've got 2 different locations in San Jose where one of the printers is printing from the wrong paper source, and the other one has got a paper jam. That's my day. So maybe while in San Jose, I will get on to doing some geocaches. I'm hoping I haven't done it in the last few days. I think that's simply because of the fact that a lot of the geocaches, well, yeah, I have to say a lot because there are several that I can't get to due to the fact that, due to the fact that either A, the location is one that is inaccessible. Like there's actually a construction site where the cache is at, so I'm not gonna be able to get on that because it's a closed construction site. And a majority of them, the cache is just not there. Like I went to look for it and it was just not there. So that would explain why I'm not able to get to those caches, and that's why those caches still exist. But the other caches in the area, I have gotten and are gone. So I have to now I have to go further and further out to find caches. Well, I'm here at my first place, so I'm going to pause this, and then once we get on to San Jose, I'll pick up from where I left off. So I'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry, I was planning on recording as soon as I got back in the car, so there was no, like, you know, there was just a splice in time. But obviously the surroundings of these surroundings are different, and that's because of the fact that as soon as I got out of my last location, I had to make a phone call to my boss because I just went in and, like I said, you know, you just press a couple buttons and reset the fucking message and be on my way. But as I was walking out the door, the manager of the office grabbed me and basically asked me something that I had no way to answer because I had never heard of this issue before. Basically, it comes down to going to the IRS website and printing out documentation from the website and it causing conflicts with the printers in the office. And I had never heard of this issue before. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not exactly sure why that's happening. So when I called my boss, I had a couple ideas of what might be going on, but, you know, nothing definitive. But when I called my boss and was like, hey, have you ever heard of this? She said, yeah, and this is what's going on, and this is why. It's a driver issue. But, and, you know, it's not something it isn't in my control, so, you know, it's not something that I'm going to be able to fix. So at least now when somebody asks me, I'll be able to explain to them why, because they were told by the tech support department, this is what you need to do. Don't, you know, if you're going to do this, do these 3 things. And they wanted to know why they had to do those 3 things. So now I'm on my way to San Jose. The issue that I'm going towards now is, I believe, the printer is pulling paper from the wrong source. Usually in these scenarios, because whenever I go, I've had this happen before. Whenever I go and I test print and I check the settings on the printer, everything's fine. So I'm thinking that it must be somebody at their desk made a change to their settings or adjusted their print features on their local system, and it causes the printer to respond. You know, for those of you that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, basically, a printer has several sources of where the paper can be pulled from depending on the size. Very small printers have just a paper tray. You know, middle-sized printers have the paper tray and then a center feed, and then some of them have 2 or 3 paper trays and feeds that are on different sides of the system. Usually when a printer calls from a tray or a source other than the paper tray, it's because the dynamics of the print has changed. Somebody wants, instead of landscape, they want portrait, which are the different ways that you can have the printer align how it's printing on the paper. Usually when you change paper sizes, there are different trays that are set, and different sources that are set for different paper sizes. So when somebody makes a change on the local system, it sends it to the printer and says, hey, I need this particular type of print job done. I need you to pull this from this source. And that's why the paper source changes. So I'm headed to this place. I'm surprised that this particular manager didn't call me. Yes, I've used the word particular a lot. I don't know why it's my go-to word. It's just there. But this manager has called me before, rather than submitting tickets. Call me to ask me to come and do stuff, and then eventually a ticket gets put in. I need tickets in my queue so that I can show why I'm on the clock and what I'm doing. You know, it's basically just a paper trail. And because I've helped this guy before, and I've given him my phone number for a completely different issue, he calls me when he needs my help. Because I guess they think I'm their technician. I'm their special technician. So, yeah, not much else going on. Thank you all for the feedback on the whole Fitness Pal thing. I've gotten different suggestions. I know that exercise is a primary part of losing weight or, you know, getting thin. One of the reasons why I went with the Fitness Pal is because I knew that my exercise regimen sucked. So I was looking for a different angle to follow to continue to try and slim down. And I figured since I'm not doing as much exertion, less calories in, less calories being burned, right? That's what I was hoping to do. That's why I went with this angle. And right now I'm plateauing. I'm at like 400, I think. Excuse me. I've been measuring myself. I realized that one of the reasons why my weight, the weight that I was seeing at the end of the day, was higher, beyond the fact that the normal daily, you know, give and take of the body, is my clothes. Apparently my clothes weigh something, like, and I don't mean that in the sense of, you know, all my clothes should be, you know, air light, but what I mean is, you know, I was just, at the end of the day, I'd just stand on the scale and I'd have my shirt and my pants and my shoes and all that stuff, and it would be, you know, 5-6 pounds heavier. And I know that sounds weird, but when I decided one day, I had gotten undressed before I was going to bed, and I had stepped on the scale, and I was, you know, I had stepped on the scale like an hour or 2 hours earlier, and weighed myself, and then at the end of the day, I had, you know, stripped down and was just in my underwear, and weighed myself, and I was 3 or 4 pounds lighter. So I realized that the weight that I was seeing at the end of the day was at the level it was because of the clothing. Because when I get up in the morning, you know, I don't have anything on except my underwear, and I would weigh myself. So apparently clothing has an effect on your weight. Go figure. Anyway, so yeah, I'm around 240, between 240 and 242 pounds is where I'm at. So I've lost 10 pounds from where I was a month and a half ago. So I guess that's not bad. But for the last couple days, you know, it's been a week or so. I've been my hope. I wanted to see my weight drop into like the 230s. I wanted to see a 3, you know, that was my thing. And let me make sure I clarify here. I wanted to see a 3 in the second number, not the first number. I didn't want it to go from 200 to 300 because that would be easy to do. I could just eat whatever I want, however I want. But I wanted to see it go from 240 to 230 so I can see progress, and I haven't seen that yet. So, but anyway, yeah. Thanks everybody for the suggestions on losing weight. I appreciate it. I understand that it's not about weight so much as it is about appearance, but you know, right now my appearance hasn't really changed all that much. You know, I understand that I can go out and I can exercise and I'll gain weight, but I'll lose body fat and I'll still weigh 250 pounds, but I'll be muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. I understand that, but that's not really what I'm using as a gauge right now. What I'm looking at is I have belly fat that I want to get rid of. I'm not obese. Well, actually, that's not true. If you go by the body fat index, I'm obese. You know, I don't really understand that, but whatever. What is it? The body mass index. Excuse me, the BMI. I'm not overweight. I'm obese. Anyway, so yeah, I'm on my way to the next location. Not much else going on. Just an average day. It's supposed to be raining in the area. It was raining at my house, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see it through the windows, but it's sunny out. It is sort of overlaid with some rainy clouds, but it's not raining where I'm at right now. It's actually sunny. Okay, well, I guess I'll stop here because I really haven't recorded anything of value. But still, thank you everybody for the feedback. I appreciate it. And that was just me babbling for the day. If I go and I do any geocaching that's interesting, I will bring you with me, of course. So until then, I guess I will talk to you all later. Hey everybody, I'm driving, going from Millbrae, California to Palo Alto, California via the roads and byways and highways that are available to me as per being a citizen of California. How's everybody doing today? I'm alright. I haven't done any geocaching in the last week. mainly because of the fact that, like I said, all the stuff that's local to my area has been found, except for the ones that I can't, because either A, the actual cache itself is missing, or B, there's stuff that prevents me from getting to where the cache is, i.e. construction, that kind of stuff. So I haven't been actively geocaching. And I know that I should get out more. I know that I should. But I guess I'm just falling into a lull with that. But I will get back to it soon enough. I have it scheduled so that, I know I've said this before, but in case I haven't, or you guys don't remember, due to the requirements of the job that I work, I am required to take 8 weeks off because it's seasonal. And, you know, the offices, once the offices get closed down, everything gets stored away, there's very minimal need for me to support the offices. You know, the printers aren't being used all that often, because though they do have full year-round tax branches, they won't be that active. You know, I mean, taxes get done, sure, but, you know, after the 15th of April, which is this month, I believe, it's the 15th, then that's it. The tax season's over, and then they got to start closing everything down. So in June and July, that's the 8 weeks that I'll be taking off. I'm gonna have to see if I can collect unemployment. It's not gonna be very much, considering the money that I make now is not very much. So yeah, it's gonna get kind of funky in the next couple months. Things are gonna get wacky, and I'm gonna have to start going into my savings to pay my bills or find another job. And I really like this job. I really enjoy it. You know, it isn't something that I get up and spring out of bed and run to, but it's not something that I dread doing either. You know, I like the fact that I'm on the road constantly. I like the fact that, you know, I'm able to sort of work my own schedule. But that being a segue into why I'm making this video, I've been feeling depressed is not the right word, because it's not the depression that I'm used to anyway. But I've been feeling a sense of, I don't want to say ennui, because I hate that fucking word, but just like listlessness and a sense of emptiness, I guess is another way to say it. I have no outlet. I have no creative outlet. I have no way to put something into the world. You know, I think that's the big thing, is I don't feel like I'm actually producing anything of value. My life, I spend all my time by myself, so I'm not enhancing somebody else's life by making things easier for them or making their lives better or what have you. And I'm not creating art. I'm not drawing or painting or sculpting or taking pictures or anything like that. I'm not really doing anything creative. And I've been feeling for a long time pretty empty. I've been feeling pretty shallow inside. It was the other day when I was watching Scrubs. I saw a couple clips on YouTube of the TV show Scrubs, and so I decided, you know what, I've heard about Scrubs and I've seen clips before, but I've never had any interest in it. But because of the fact that I was watching these clips, and I don't really have a television show that I can watch consistently, because the shows that I do watch only come on once a week, I decided I was just going to download all of the episodes of Scrubs and watch them. So there's 9 seasons of Scrubs, and I'm now on season 5, with only the exception of a few episodes, because the version that I downloaded, those episodes were corrupt, or the syncing was off, or they became corrupt halfway through the episode. So, like, I'd say maybe 5 episodes out of 5 seasons so far I haven't been able to watch. But I've been watching Scrubs. But while watching Scrubs, I realized what the purpose of TV is in terms of the way that it affects society. TV TV and any of those other mind-rotting habits are a filler. It basically fills the void of a healthy, life experience. If you're not pursuing something creative or doing something that you're passionate about, that sense of emptiness, that sense of something missing, that's what TV fills. You're watching and engaging, sometimes emotionally, the lives of other people. You're watching them, and you're getting engaged in them, and they're fulfilling that at least for a very, very short period of time, they're fulfilling that piece that's missing. You see other people doing stuff and falling in love and having relationships and having kids and getting into fights and wacky situations and adventure and excitement and suspense and intrigue and all that. That's all filled by television. And I think that in itself explains why television is so popular, why it's such a strong medium, is because of the fact that it fills that void. And that bothers me. I realized, first and foremost, I need to say this just because it needs to be said, is that, and I know this is going to sound stupid, me saying this, but TV it's not real. The relationships that you see on television, the circumstances and scenarios that you see on television aren't realistic. These things don't happen. At least in my experience, I couldn't imagine that relationships are so easily, started and maintained and whatnot. Meeting. How many times are you going to meet somebody at work? You can't just keep meeting people to have a relationship with at work, can you? I mean, is that real? I wouldn't think so. But the problem is that with me watching these people have lives and the things that they do, it makes me feel like I'm somehow, I'm not doing something right, that I'm somehow flawed because my life doesn't have those things. So, I'm stuck with this, dragging tail and squirreling myself away in my room in front of my computer. And I have no real drive. No, that's not true. I have no, I don't want to say desire, but I don't want to go out. I'm uncomfortable going into social situations and meeting people and doing the things that you're supposed to do to become social. All the friends that I have, I've maintained online. All the people that I know, you people, you're all over the world. And you're the people that I interact with. You're the people that I socialize with. You're the people that I connect with. You. I've always said that, the internet was a filter. You'd have to go through a lot of shitty people to get to those people that you met online. The internet gives you a tool to filter out all of the stupid so that you can meet those like-minded individuals that you connect with. The problem is that I can't call up somebody in fucking England and be like, hey, let's go get something to eat, because they're in England and I'm in California. Or they're in fucking New Mexico, or they're in fucking Kentucky, or they're in Washington. I don't have the capacity to be able to go over and hang out with them and establish and maintain a real life friendship. In terms of real life, I mean the physical. So now that work is slowed down and it isn't taking up the vast majority of my time, I'm left with the reality that my life has no real meaning, You see, this is driving me nuts. I don't eat that much, and yet I still fucking, I hate that. You see this? You see it? You see this? This drives me nuts. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with me. Just nothing. There's nothing going on in my life. So I feel pretty empty. I feel pretty hollow, and it's sad, really, because I don't like feeling this way. I don't like feeling like I'm not contributing something to the world around me. I'm not doing something that matters. That's pretty much it, man.